Songs like Feelin' Good, I Put a Spell on You, and Sinner Man made Nina Simone a star. But her role in the civil rights movement made her a legend. A new documentary called What Happened, Miss Simone is shining a new spotlight on her life and legacy. Randall Pinkston spoke with her daughter Lisa Simone Kelly, who talked about their complicated relationship and why it was so important to make this documentary now.
It was a labor of love that my husband and I have been working on for approximately 10 years.
I want to shake people up so bad that when they leave a nightclub where I performed, I just want them to be to pieces. I got my hair, got my head, got my rain, got my head.
I made a pledge to my mother when she passed away that to make sure that she would be remembered properly in the way that she deserved and the way that she would be remembered.
Can I put a spell on you?
You've said that she was one of the greatest entertainers of all time, but she paid a price. What price?
Yes. Oh, my goodness, her heart, her peace of mind, self-actualization, awards, being rich, so many material rewards and goals that many artists go for, not to mention their own personal satisfaction. My mom forewent many of those things in order to stand up for what she believed in.
No, all colored people in this country got to be second-class fools.
In terms of the civil rights movement, when her dream of being a classical musician, when her dream was pretty much went into the toilet because of the color of her skin.
This is a very difficult recounting for you personally when you think about what your mother went through. For those who don't know the history of Nina Simone, she trained as a classical pianist. That was her goal. She had to get a job at some point, and the owner of the club told her, you have to sing. So that began her singing career, which of course led to her fame. But then there was a point where she made a very political decision shortly after the deaths of the 4 girls in the Birmingham church bombing.
Exactly, and Mom came from a very religious family. My grandmother was a minister who did not believe in the devil's music. And so when Mom just was told she had to sing, and while she was trying to make a living, she changed her name to Nina Simone so that Grandma would not know that she was playing worldly music.
Yes, I love you, Porgy.
And when the 4 little girls were blown up in the church, I kind of equate my mother's career in 2 parts. You have the part where she was singing love songs and she was happy to be playing and doing what she loved and being recognized, and then you have the part of her career where she got mad.
That's what's the trouble.
She broke when those 4 little girls were blown up in that church, and she never came back. She became the revolutionary that we all know and love and respect.
And at the same time, a lot of her music wasn't played on the radio stations, which is how artists became famous at that time.
Yes, and it depended upon what she was singing. When she recorded I Loves You, Porgy, it was all over the radio waves. When she did Mood Indigo and the jazz tunes, the tunes that were acceptable, she got all kinds of recognition. But as soon as she decided to use the stage for the greater good and to speak out against what was going on in an angry way, Mississippi Goddamn was an angry song, and she says that specifically in the documentary.
Everybody knows about Mississippi Goddamn.
There were many times when those 45s were sent back cracked in 2. So she took a stand, and she was fearless, she was courageous, and oftentimes she wound up being alone. Not only professionally, but personally, because of the decisions that she made in order to feel like she was doing something of meaning and use the platform in such a way that most artists, especially female artists of color at that time, were not doing.
Today, how do you remember your mother?
I remember her with great love. I miss her, believe it or not. I do. I really wish that we could spend time together with me being in the place that I am now, being the more wiser adult that I am now. I miss her very much. I'm proud of her, and I'm really glad that my pledge to her has been fulfilled, that she lives, and she lives properly in the way that she deserves. in the way that she wants to be remembered.
Lisa Simone Kelly, thank you for joining us on Al Jazeera America.
Thank you.
And Lisa Simone Kelly is following in her mother's footsteps. She just released an album herself called All Is Well. You can watch the documentary What Happened, Miss Simone on Netflix. Well, that's our news for this hour. Thanks for watching. I'm Erica Pizzi. The news continues next with Antonio Mora.